What's going on, guys? CrustyKs here from the Go Boys Network. Excited to talk to you about this week of college football. We're going to talk about the Thursday and Friday games. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into it. So the one game on Thursday, NC State traveling Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech laying 7.5 points right now. I think the big question here is, is Haynes King going to play? Georgia Tech obviously coming off that monster win over Miami. They had a bye week after that. So if you watch that Miami game, Haynes King clearly not healthy. I think he only threw the ball like 5 or 6 times. Most of the passing work went to the other quarterback, Philo, I believe his name was. Game in particular, I like Georgia Tech's defense against NC State. I think that they definitely come to play. If it just comes down to whether or not Haynes King's going to play in this game or not for me before I would have back Georgia Tech. But I do lean Georgia Tech here at the minus 7.5. I like them at home. Normally a team off a big win like the win over Miami, I'd like to fade. But I think with the bye week in there, you kind of avoid that letdown spot because they kind of had a week to rest, an extra week to kind of celebrate, I guess, if you will. Because it's a huge win for their program. Like I said, I'm going to roll with Georgia Tech minus 7.5. I don't know if I'll get to the window on it just yet, but that's where I'd go. NC State really just underwhelming this season. The Grayson McCall experiment, obviously, he was hurt. Missed the rest of the season. CJ Bailey, just not a guy that I'm super confident in against this Georgia Tech defense. I really think he could be in for a rough outing. So I will go with Georgia Tech here, minus 7.5.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the Go Boys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the Go Boys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Moving on to Friday here. So the first one on the Friday slate. So the first one for Friday, Temple taking on UTSA. UTSA a whopping 16.5 point favorite. We backed UTSA against North Texas. We were rewarded pretty easy, honestly. North Texas really never had a pulse in that game, in my opinion. I know that there was a stretch there where they looked like they were going to try to make it close, but I don't know, just never really felt in danger, in my opinion. So this one here, obviously a massive number with UTSA. Not a number I'm looking to lay with this team, truthfully. They are playing really well, don't get me wrong. And Temple is terrible, but I can't lay this kind of number with UTSA. Instead, I'd probably look to the UTSA team total. I think it's a great look here. Just attacking this Temple defense and backing UTSA to just kind of keep scoring. Owen McCown's looked really good at quarterback. Completion rate's been through the roof the last few weeks. Really just not facing a lot of resistance, obviously playing against some soft matchups, but he gets another one here. Team total's at 36.5. I think they could put a 40 in this spot. It's just going to come down to, really can Temple sustain any drives? And I personally don't love them to sustain drives. And I think when they do have scoring opportunities, they're going to come on big plays, as we've seen with UTSA. A lot of times when they give up points, it's on big chunk plays. So those obviously don't eat up a lot of clock. So I do think UTSA has the ball enough to get us here. And I think over 36.5 for their team total is a great look in this one. If you insist on playing a spread, I would lean to the UTSA minus 16.5. It's just a tough number to grab with that team because, on paper, and even just eye test, the defense isn't great. They looked pretty good against North Texas, don't get me wrong. But that North Texas team's been super inconsistent all season. So I guess I really wasn't super surprised by it, but definitely not a defense I'm willing to trust to cover, over 2 touchdowns. The next one, this is a good one. Purdue taking on Michigan State. Michigan State laying a whopping 13.5 points here. This is one of those games where I think Aiden Chili's is going to look like the quarterback everybody hoped he would be, because you're facing a Purdue secondary that is literal dog meat. So for me in this one, I like Michigan State minus 13.5. I think they win this one in a big way. I think this is kind of a game where I believe they've lost 2 straight now. It was 2 straight, 3 straight, two or three. I'd have to pull it up. Regardless, they've lost a couple games here against some tougher competition. And this just feels like that spot where they can kind of get their lick back. You're going to face a Purdue team that if you've watched them, they literally have no interest in trying to win games. They pretty much played the Oregon game like they were just trying to get out of there and save face. I don't know if they'll have the same approach against Michigan State, but this Michigan State defense is no slouch. And like I said, the offense, especially against a secondary that's as bad as Purdue, this offense is going to look good. So give me Michigan State minus 13.5 here. I think they handle this one pretty easy. I think they pick up a big win here. And I believe they'll be 1 win shy of going bowling. So not saying they're going to get there, but they're definitely going to try. This was a game actually I looked at props, and Aiden Chillis, his passing yard at 228.5, it just felt too low to me. Even his passing TDs over 1.5 at minus 102. Both these props, in my opinion, if Michigan State's going to cover this number, they're both hitting. At the very least, one of them is hitting, in my opinion. The passing TDs probably my favorite of the two, but I just felt like the passing yards were too low, and I felt like the passing TDs were here too low. I think there is a slight chance of some weather for this game, but it's still a couple days away, so I'm not going to sit here and blame the weather for these prices. I just think that Aiden Chillis is a bit undervalued in this matchup, and I really think that he's in for a big outing here. Hey guys, I just want to give a quick reminder that new users can bet $5 at FanDuel on any of the bets in this video and win $150 in bonus bets if the bet wins. Now let's get back to the bets. The next one, the last one on this Friday slate, UNLV taking on San Jose State. UNLV laying 7.5 points on the road. Hodge Malik Williams, obviously we all know, has been outstanding at quarterback for this UNLV team. Walker Eget for San Jose State. He's going to throw the ball all over the field. Probably going to find some success because UNLV's secondary, definitely nothing to write home about. Looking at this game though, as much as I wanted to square up and lay the 7.5 with UNLV, it was tough to get there on the road. So instead, I'm going to take the over 60.5. What I'm looking at right now. It just feels a bit too low. UNLV, we all know they're going to score. They're going to score on big chunk plays. What they do should have little resistance against the San Jose State defense. But on the flip side, I'm not a big believer in the UNLV defense at all. So against this pass-heavy attack from San Jose State, I really think we see a ton of points. Nick Nash, obviously, just a mismatch against anybody he plays. Wouldn't be surprised if he has a monster game against this UNLV secondary. So give me points here, like I said, over 60.5. It's just a bit too low for me. Even if UNLV blows them out, I could see this game being like 42 to 20 something, like easily clearing this 60.5 number. That does conclude the Thursday-Friday slate though. I will have video this week for Saturday. I promise. I've been terrible about these things. Had a lot of stuff going on. We're back. Hopefully we're consistent. Hopefully we make a whole bunch of money. As always, you can get all of my official plays at goldboys.com. If you have a gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Thank you guys.